People around the world celebrated Earth Day last week, including members of the tech community. MCTV's Gina Rangnow and Sarah Karda have a look at a pair of events that encouraged attendees to help Texas Tech go green and save the planet.
One of Tech's most ecological forms of transportation is also starting to get more popular as temperatures heat up. Coming up, MCTV's Madison Bindle shows us how one campus group is helping the university's bicyclist population stay safe while traveling across campus.
And it's a big day for Texas Tech athletics as the campus's most popular coach makes his decision regarding his future with the university. MCTV's Aditya Sahasrabudhe will have the details covering Coach Beard's contract signing.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Monday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Sarah Karda.
And I'm Emily Effren. Over the weekend, a Texas Tech football player was shot after an altercation at an apartment complex across from campus.
That's right, Emily. And yesterday morning, the suspect shooter turned himself into police less than 24 hours after the incident. On Saturday around 6 p.m., the Lubbock Police Department responded to reports of shots fired at the Park East student living apartments. When officers arrived, they found that John Scott III and Kiana Pipkins were injured in the shooting. The shooting took place at the Park East pool following a fight involving multiple people. During the fight, a gun was drawn and the suspect fired multiple shots, hitting Scott and Pipkins. On Sunday at approximately 11:30 a.m., 24-year-old Asia Divine Jackson turned himself into Lubbock police after authorities announced that he was a suspect in the shooting. Jackson was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for his part in the shooting. John Scott III is currently listed in critical condition at University Medical Center. Scott is a registered freshman defensive lineman for the Red Raider football team. Scott is also a kinesiology major, and he is from Hitchcock, Texas. Scott was part of the football scout team in the fall, but he did not play last season. MCTV will continue to monitor this story, and we will provide updates when they become available.
In other news, Earth Day was celebrated last Monday throughout the world. The annual event encourages people to think about ways they help save our planet. And as MCTV's Gina Rangnow shows us, the Texas Tech campus got in on the action with a special event that has been keeping the campus green for decades.
This past Friday, the Student Union and Activities Board hosted the annual Arbor Day celebration. Students were invited to enjoy live music, free food, gift bags, games, and gardening along fellow Red Raiders.
It's just a day where we have over 2,200 students here planning, and it's a great day to give back to the university.
When Texas Tech was built in 1923, the budget was allocated towards buildings' structure and design. Then, 14 years later, President Knapp created a Texas Tech tradition to happen one day each spring, dedicated to beautifying Tech's campus.
And I love that it's a Texas Tech tradition that they hold on for years and years to come. And I come here especially for the succulents because I really love succulents.
Stuff here, I got free hot dogs, snow cones, and I wrote pledges to reduce my carbon footprint, and I just basically help the planet. And we've been doing that a lot since Earth Day was the other day, and just I don't know, it's we need to make change in this planet, and I think having an Arbor Day is really good.
Texas Tech University is making changes to become sustainable. The event also included environmental initiatives, allowing students to trade 2 plastic bottles to be recycled for an Arbor Day t-shirt. Plans for next year's Arbor Day celebration are already underway to take place during the spring. Be sure to mark your calendars to come out and have some fun. For MCTV, I'm Gina Rangnow.
Graduation is just around the corner, but before hundreds of students walked the stage, many of them took part in a special ceremony to receive one of the most iconic items worn by university alumni. The biannual Texas Tech ring ceremonies were held last week at the McKenzie Market Alumni Center. Starting on Monday, students who had purchased a class ring over the last semester had the chance to receive the keepsake in grand fashion. During the ceremony, representatives from the TTU Alumni Association, along with members of the faculty, spoke to the students about the importance of the class ring. President Skuvanek presented each student with their ring on stage, and the ceremony concluded with each student putting on the ring and showing it off to the audience. The ring ceremony is held each fall and spring on campus. There were a total of 4 ceremonies held last week, with the last one taking place on Thursday.
During the spring semester, it is not uncommon to see a lot more people getting across campus on a bike.
That's true, Emily, and each spring, one university department holds a special event to make sure that riders have all the resources and information they need to stay safe here on campus. MCTV's Madison Bindle has more.
The Texas Tech Transportation Services and Cycling Club put on the Bike Clinic, a free event to help students register and fix their bikes for free.
Today we're hosting the Bike Clinic with Transportation and Parking Services. This is our 5th year of hosting the clinic. So we bring out groups and organizations that have an interest in cycling and cycling safety and provide some resources for our cyclists here on campus.
With the growing population of bikers in the Texas Tech community, Transportation Services put on this event to both educate and help the cyclists on campus.
Every year as our population here on campus grows, we see that number of cyclists grow. We're now up to around 7,000 cyclists on campus, including our students and employees. And so anything we can do to help share information about it, share safety tips, and make those bikes safer is something we absolutely have an interest in.
One of the important aspects of this clinic is the safety of the cyclists, whether it be safety on the roads or by simply protecting your bike, which can be started by registering it at this event.
We have bike registration available. It's all free. It doesn't prevent theft, but if a bicycle is stolen, it's the only way we can get the bike back to the registered owner of the bike.
I got my bike registered, which is nice. I had a bike stolen last year and it wasn't registered, so it's just gone. So now that I've kind of got a nice bike again, it was nice to kind of get it registered so that hopefully there will be a little bit more reassurance.
For MCTV, I'm Madison Bindle. Back to you.
The South Plains saw some summer-like conditions over the weekend, with temperatures climbing up to 91 degrees on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right, Sarah, and along with the heat, we also have some breezy winds throughout the weekend. But will the warmer conditions be sticking around as we finish out the month of April? MCTV's Madison Hartin joins us in the studio with a look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, guys. Well, it finally happened this weekend. We finally broke 90 degrees here in Lubbock, but the weather's only going to get weirder from here. I'll come back to that wind we were talking about. Right now, looking at our MCTV tower cam, we can see that wind has brought in a little bit of overcast skies in here for us. Looking at Urbanoski Park, we can see that it's a little bit breezy right now, too, which is bringing in some severe weather that'll be happening tonight. For today, our high temperature is about 70 degrees with thunderstorms coming in this afternoon and windy conditions, and that wind is coming from the northeast at 20 to 30 miles per hour. And then for tonight, the temperature is going to drop back down to 55 degrees, and that's where our 50% chance of rain for the area comes in. Severe thunderstorms and an easterly wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now, looking at our little corner of Texas as a whole, we can see that the National Weather Service has released a severe weather graphic for the South Plains. We can see that for Lubbock, it is in the moderate severe weather area, which means it won't be as bad as it could be. And that means we'll be experiencing probably hail around 1 inch in diameter, up to 60-mile-per-hour gust winds, and some other severe weather such as heavy rain. So definitely watch out for that as time goes on. As that moves out of our area for tomorrow, we can see that our highs are going to rise back up as the clouds move out of the area. Our highs are going to be in the mid to lower 80s, and then our low temperatures will be dropping back down into about the 50 area. So that's really good. At least the severe weather won't be lasting too long. It will be moving out by tomorrow. For tomorrow, we can see that we are going to be having highs at 85 degrees, 55 degrees, and in the AM, we will be experiencing a little bit of rain, but that'll probably be moving out around 6 a.m., so before we go to class. But conditions are still going to be windy with a southwesterly wind at 20 to 30 miles per hour. For Wednesday, highs of at 86 degrees, low of 52, and a southwesterly wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, we have a high of 73 degrees and a low of 55, and an east by southeasterly wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Now, I cannot stress this enough, we get a lot of severe weather here on the South Plains, so it's important to know what to do in the event of severe weather. When it rains in Lubbock, it floods the streets very quickly because of our lack of drainage here in town. So just remember, when it rains, try to stay off the road if you can, and we will be experiencing 1 inch diameter hail, and that could cause damage to your car and property. So if you care about it, put it under cover. You don't want anything getting damaged, especially if you don't have insurance, and you don't want yourself getting damaged. So if you see severe weather, definitely take cover, get inside. If you are driving, pull over to the side of the road because it's really not safe to be driving in these things. We don't need anyone hydroplaning. Just try to stay safe, Texas Tech, and everything will be fine. Back to you.
Thanks, Madison. As we mentioned earlier, the Tech campus held Arbor Day on Friday to help encourage the Tech community to go green. But Sarah, I heard that wasn't the only event focused on saving the planet.
That's right, Emily. Last Wednesday, Coca-Cola built a mock eco-center in the free speech area outside the sub. I had the chance to stop by the event, which was all about how Coca-Cola is recycling, reusing, giving clean water to communities across the globe, and creating much-needed jobs.
Coca-Cola set up this mock eco-center to show students what they have been doing across the globe. In North America alone, more than 95% of the total waste from production facilities was diverted from landfills.
Behind me is a mock eco-center, so it's something they have set up in 177 different parts of the world, and it provides people with the needs, and so it gives really low prices to all the things that people need, and they can come by and get it all. And then also, they have a bunch of recycled products that women in less developed countries get to make, and then it provides them with jobs, and they also recycle all their Coke products.
Many students chose to participate in the games provided at the Coca-Cola Mock Eco-Center. These games focused on how Coca-Cola reduces, reuses, and recycles.
Got the bracelet as a prize for winning the game, and it gives job opportunities for women in vulnerable communities in Mexico, and it's all recycled materials, so that's pretty cool.
Students also had the chance to take a photo in the photo frame provided to get a prize from the Eco-Center. This event was all about how Coca-Cola has focused on giving back to the environment and communities that need it.
They should come, give back to the community, learn more about what Coca-Cola does about recycling and loving your mother, loving your environment.
Texas Tech was just one of many stops the Coca-Cola Eco-Center experience is making on college campuses this year. For more information on the Eco-Center, visit the website listed on your screen.
The Texas Tech Red Raider basketball team is still the talk of the town after making a run at the national championship.
But with all the buzz around the team, there was still one big question asked by most fans. Will head coach Chris Beard stay in Lubbock? MCTV's Aditya Sahasrabudhe joins us now with that answer and more in sports. Adi?
Thanks, Sarah and Emily. The Red Raiders made history in this year's NCAA March Madness, and we are not done. Coach Chris Beard signed a new 6-year contract with the Red Raiders that would keep him at Tech till 2024-2025 season. The contract will average $4.57 million annually, making him one of the top-paid basketball coaches in the nation after he guided the Red Raiders to the NCAA National Championship final this season and the Elite Eight last year. Beard has a 76-31 overall record as the program's head coach, including a national runner-up finish in this year's NCAA tournament, a 14-4 conference record to win the program's first Big 12 Conference regular season championship, and a 31-7 record in 2018-2019 season for the winningest season in program history. Texas Tech baseball has scored maximum hits and runs this season in 6th and 7th. Perhaps it is in 6th and 7th when the Red Raiders feel they should pull up their socks, dig their heels in, and fire on all cylinders. Yesterday's win against Oklahoma State was no different. Number 15, Texas Tech baseball planted 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to rally for a 5-2 win and series sweep against number 16 Oklahoma State on Sunday at Rip Griffin Park. Sophomore Dylan Noisy launched a 3-run home run in the 7th to put Tech ahead 4-2, and the Red Raiders earned their 6th straight win behind a pitching staff that posted 46 strikeouts of one of the hottest lineups in the country. Now Tech moves into sole position of 2nd place in the Big 12 standings. It has also won 5 straight conference games for the first time since 2017. Now it's time for Tech golf news. Texas Tech junior Sandy Scott shot 4 under par on Sunday to earn a tie for 5th at the Big 12 Conference Championship and lead the number 10 ranked Red Raiders, who finished 5th in the team standings at the Greenbrier. Scott earned all tournament honors after posting a 54-hole total for his 5th top 5 finish of the season. A junior from Scotland, Scott finished 3 shots back of tournament champion Hayden Springer, who carded 8 under for TCU and held off Oklahoma State's Victor Hovland, who finished as the championship's runner-up at 7 under. Scott's finish is the top showing for a Red Raider at the conference tournament since Ramirez finished 6th at the 2017 tournament, after Clement Sordit tied for 3rd in 2015. Chris Ward remains the only Red Raider in program history to win the Big 12 Conference Championship with his individual title in 2010. And that's all we have for today's sports coverage. Back to you, Emily and Sarah.
Thanks, AD. You may not know it, but Lubbock and the South Plains area are known worldwide for having a huge impact on popular music.
That's true, Emily, and each year an event here on campus gives students and the local community the chance to learn more about the Hub City's musical history. MCTV's Jay McCulley stopped by the Allen Theater to bring us the sights and sounds of this special event.
An annual event held here on campus allows Lubbock residents to experience West Texas icons in the flesh. Lloyd Maines, Bob Livingston, and Gary P. Nunn are West Texans through and through. The group were the featured acts for this year's Lubbock Lights concert. This year's concert was the 5th one to take place and is put on by the Office of the President. Maines, a Lubbock native, says no matter where he goes, he's always reminded of home.
Everywhere I go, everywhere I play, somebody comes up that either went to Texas Tech or from Lubbock at some point, and they all speak so highly of Texas Tech and Lubbock. It gives me a sense of pride.
The concert ran about an hour and a half. The performers played some of their biggest hits, much to the delight of one of their longtime fans.
Both my hearing aid batteries went out. I'm old, so they didn't just blow our heads off anyway. But I really enjoyed it, and they can play anything, and they don't have to rehearse or do anything else. They're just great musicians.
Jordan Langhenick, a tech student, says Nunn holds a special place in his heart and was honored to meet him.
I grew up listening to Gary P. Nunn songs, and my dad would sing them, and it was great to see Mr. Nunn live and in the flesh.
Throughout the night, the performers would stop singing to relive their traveling days while on the road.
And I like the fact that they talk about things that they did. You see them on TV, they do one song and they're off, you know. But here they talk about things that happened and how they came up with the stories. That's what I enjoy about live music mostly.
As previously stated, the Lubbock Lights concert is held annually. If you didn't get a chance to come out this year, there's always next year. Reporting at the Sub for MCTV, I'm Jay McCulley. Back to you guys.
So Sarah, did you have a chance to make it out to the concert this weekend?
No, I'm kind of sad I missed it, but I really hope that guy gets some new batteries for his hearing aids.
That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you on Thursday.